her bank accounts weren't touched. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another True Crime Sunday. How has your week been? I hope it has been good. Before we get into today's true crime video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am now taking story submissions. So I do my own story times. I tell you guys what happens in my life and I will forever continue doing that. However, a lot of you guys say that you like how I tell stories. When I told my hectic huss story time, I felt like I had been heard. I felt like even though this man was denying that he ever loved me, that we were ever together, any of that stuff, I felt like because I told my story, I got my story out there, I related to so many people. So many people were like, oh my god, it sounds like my guy. Oh my god, like you gave me the strength to leave. Oh my, like, you know, like I felt like we were bonding. And so I just felt like this huge sense of camaraderie with you guys, and I really like being able to tell my story, even if some people are gonna be like, you know, I was never with her, she's nothing to me. So anyways, if you have something that has happened to you, or you've had an experience, you know, like someone's cheated on you, maybe you've had paranormal experience, please don't make it too scary, otherwise I will cry and shit my pants. Or like just anything, something embarrassing that's happened to you, stories on anything. If you have any sort of story or experience that you would like me to make a video on and tell your story on the internet, I'm gonna keep it anonymous, send me an email. Don't leave out any details. Give me all of it. If you've got screenshots, block out the name and the numbers and the pictures and send them my way. I will write it up as a story and I will share it as a story time. It's basically submitstorytime@gmail.com. Okay, so now let's talk about today's case. So today we're going to be talking about the disappearance of Trevaline Evans. I hope I'm saying her name right. I've never actually seen this name before. It is a very unique name, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to be pronouncing it Trevaline. Trevaline was a 52-year-old woman and she was living in Wales at the time, and she owned her own antique store. At the time that she went missing, she had just come back from like a little, they were just renovating their holiday home. So she spent the week there with her husband Richard, and then she'd come back on the Wednesday, and then on the Saturday she opened up her store at the normal time of 9:30 in the morning. So she had driven her dark blue car there. It was a Ford Escort Estate and it was parked about 200 meters from her shop. Now I'm not quite sure if this is just because she went on a little like week's getaway, or like even just she was away for a week, but she had 25 customers and friends. So I'm assuming that most of them were friends, because 25 customers in an antique goods store is like I don't know what's normal for an antique goods store, but 25 people that morning is a lot of people. So I'm assuming a lot of them were friends, a lot of them were people in the market coming to say, oh, how was your week away? But anyways, there were 25 people that were questioned after she disappeared. But when they were questioned, they said that she was in good spirits. She was making plans, she had made plans with friends, she seemed happy, she seemed calm, and nothing seemed off. She was commenting about the weather and like it was sunny. The police said that it was a sunny, beautiful day that day. It wasn't like raining down, storming like it is here in Australia. But in Wales on the day that she disappeared, it was beautiful weather, sunny. And it was a Saturday vibe. People were shopping, people were enjoying their weekend. It was a good day. So it was about 20 to 1 when Trevaline decided that she was going to just pop out of the store. So she wrote a handwritten note that said, back in 2 minutes. And she put it on the door and she left the store. Shortly before she had left the store, apparently there was a man who was smartly dressed and they were talking. But apparently he had left the shop. She wrote the back in 2 minutes sign, popped it on the door and left. Now, the last confirmed sighting of Trevaline was at 2:30 p.m. and she was walking on Market Street, which is near her house. And, you know, before she was seen on Market Street, she was confirmed to have bought a banana and an apple, and she was just having her lunch. I don't know about you, but 20 to 1, so 12:40 to a last confirmed sighting of 2:30, that's not back in 2 minutes, you know what I'm saying? That's some longer time than 2 minutes. So some people say that she did actually return to the shop. She was just 2 minutes, because there was a banana peel in the trash after the time that she was confirmed to have bought a banana and an apple. All of her belongings were still in the shop. That does make me think that she did leave the shop for 2 minutes to buy the fruit and then come back to the shop because her handbag was still there. Things that she was meant to bring home, like flowers and some fruit that she was meant to bring back to her husband, that was still in the shop. Her car was still at the shop. So that does lead me to believe that, okay, all of her belongings and this banana peel is in the shop. So maybe she did come back, but why did she leave again? And she also still left the back in 2 minutes sign on the door. So was she planning on returning after leaving? Nobody knows, and nobody has seen her since that last confirmed sighting. No one has seen, no one has heard from her. Her bank accounts have never been touched again. There were unconfirmed sightings of a woman that matched her description walking along a highway, and then there was another unconfirmed sighting of a woman who matched her description who was walking away from the River Dee, which is like this huge body of water. So she was coming from the river to the peoples or whoever saw her. And because of this, the actual river was searched. Nothing came up, but they also searched like caves, they searched other bodies of water, they searched literally every single household in that town. They questioned everybody. Nothing came up. 1,500 names were checked, 700 vehicles were checked. Nothing came up. There was no sign of Trevelyan. In 2001, Trevelyan's husband Richard was questioned and he was arrested, but he was released and there were no charges made. And then remember the guy who was talking to Trevelyan shortly before she put up the back in 2 minutes sign, the smartly dressed man. There was like a composite sketch done when it happened, and then there was another composite sketch done in 2001. But because it had been so long, that sketch was no longer viable. That man wouldn't look like that these days, so the police basically threw it out. The case was re-examined in 2010 and the investigation continued until 2012. And there's this theory that Trevelyan moved to Australia, which is where I live, to become a spiritual medium. But again, as I said, her bank accounts were never touched. There's been no sign of her. She literally has dropped off the face of the earth, the face of the planet. The case remains open, but it is inactive. And even though her son and her husband Richard have since passed away, her brother is still trying to keep the case open, to keep, you know, if anyone remembers anything, like he is still out there looking for his sister. He's still hopeful that his sister is alive out there somewhere. This case it's just like anyone can go missing. And listen, I don't, honestly, like I don't think that she's a spiritual medium in Australia, because how would you get from the UK to Australia with no money? You know what I'm saying? Like her bank accounts weren't touched, so she's just gone. It's been called the back in 2 minutes case on like the reports that I've seen. And again, this case has like no media reports on it. Like there's like 4 of this exact same ones. Like someone's just copy pasted what the last reporter had said and put it in their own article. So basically it's the back in 2 minutes case. What do you guys reckon happened? Do you reckon that this smartly dressed man that was in the shop before was just somebody buying antiques or interested, or just a friend? Because he has never been identified to this day. Or do you just think, like, do you think that he has nothing to do with it and it was like an opportunistic thing that she went on a break and something happened? Or maybe she fell. Do you fall at 52? I don't think 52 is very old. I think you start falling when you're like 70, maybe. I might be wrong, but I don't think 52-year-olds are frail and fragile old people. 52 is like, you can still probably run around. And what do 52-year-olds do? What's 50? 40? 30? Listen, I'm closer to 30 than I am 20, so I'm pretty sure 52 is not an old person. And even if she did fall into a body of water, I do believe that at 50 you are still able to swim, and apparently it was a sunny day. So I don't think that she would have like frozen over or anything like that. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up. It really does help. And if you want to send me a story and you want me to tell your story in a story time, send me an email down below. And if you want me to cover a case, make sure you comment that in the comments down below. Don't send it to that email, because that email is just for story times. Remember, if you like my vibe, click subscribe. and I will see you in the next one.